Hi everybody, Cindy Ellers here from Cindy's Stamping Studio. Today's date is June 30th, 2025. I am 1 minute early, but as you can see, when I first signed on, it didn't go to the right place. Am I surprised? Not at all. While I wait for some people to hop on, I am going to set up my Kindle and then my laptop, and we'll get started. I see Jeannie Mullen. She just hopped on. That's wonderful. There we go. And I hope, I hope that a little bit better. I hope everybody had a great weekend. We were busy, as always. And thank you for liking and sharing. And there's somebody else, but I can't tell who it is. Make sure you say hello so I know who it is. And if you have time, share my video. Because when you share, other people see it. And that's how we make more friends. And there's Carol Martin. And thank you so much. So nice to see you. You bet. We had a busy weekend. If you follow me on Facebook, you'll see that we took the grandkids to northern Wisconsin, and we hopped on the Great Northern Wisconsin train for a scenic ride. It was 1 hour one way, and then we came back to the station for another hour. And while we were on the train, we had pizza. And it was really good. It was nice and hot, and it wasn't too spicy. It was perfect. And because Andy is celiac, we have to always be so careful. And I had purposely ordered her a gluten-free cheese pizza. She said it was wonderful, and she didn't get sick. So we know that they know what they were doing. And on the way back, the helper gal came around with a box of homemade oatmeal raisin cookies. And so we all took one. And then she said to me, "Don't you have a gluten-free girl with you?" And I says, "Yes, we do." And she had 2 chocolate chip cookies that looked homemade, you know, soft and chewy. They weren't hard rocks, for Andy. And we were thrilled. It was great. Well, hello, Sally Becker. I'm so glad you're here. And there's Carol, or Kay Wire. So nice to see you also. So that was a lot of fun. I was kind of scared. I did not know if the kids were getting too old for this, but they said it was fun, and they enjoyed hanging out with me and Grandpa, and the pizza was good. And then it was a good day, because it took about an hour and a half from Millsville to get there, and then the 2-hour train ride. But those kids, they know what they're doing. And Michelle Jones, hello to you. Well, hi, Rita. Nice to see you. And thank you, Kay, for liking and sharing. And don't forget to tell me who you are if you're watching and you haven't done so yet. And share if you have the time. Okay, this week I am doing a sneak peek with the soon-to-be released Sunflower 3D embossing folder and the Label Me Grateful stamp set. These are both online exclusive. They will be released tomorrow. If you find this Sunflower embossing folder has so many possibilities, I just know it's going to be very popular. And I wouldn't be surprised to see low inventory on it. So if you like sunflowers, if you like embossing folders, tomorrow morning is the time to contact me if you don't want to go and create your own account to order it, or go to my store and order it yourself. You're going to be glad you did. Never too old for train rides. Isn't that the truth, Sally? It was surprisingly the first time Jim had ever been on a train, and of course the kids had never been on a train. I've been on a train twice, but that was a long time ago. And it was a lot of fun. So, okay, I just mentioned we have a new selection of online exclusives. They go on sale tomorrow. Go to my online store, and it is Cindy's Stamping Studio .stampinup.net. It's real easy to find. Okay, and we also have new kits, and they're always a lot of fun. In fact, I am very guilty of getting the kits and then not having time to finish them. So that is something I'm going to work on now. With us getting into the hotter days of July, I know I'll be inside more. I don't do well with hot and humid, and I don't care to. Today was fun. Jim and I went fishing, and third time we've had the boat out, so that was great. Third time we've gotten wet while we've been in the boat, but this time we were smart, and we had our rain gear on, and we used it. It's crazy. It rains every time we go fishing. We caught a lot of really nice bluegills and crappies, which really surprised us. We didn't think we'd catch any crappies, but we did. So we have enough for, we got enough for 2 meals at least. So we'll probably have a meal tomorrow night and freeze the rest for this winter, which is always a great thing also. Okay, we have door prizes. Now, like I've been telling you, if you comment hello, I know you're there, and that's our first door prize. So, for comments, these silver sequins are going to be sent to Cheryl Merzinik in California. I haven't seen Cheryl on here yet, but I know she always watches the replay because she's in California. And for sharing. Now, sharing, your odds are really good because not that many people have time to share. But these pecan pie, or else they were Clay Cooper or whatever, bronze colored sequins are going to go to Debbie Vine, and she's in Wisconsin. Debbie is also part of my team, so yay! I will see Debbie probably, or I'll just send them to her. Okay, that's all I have for you, but let me flip my camera around and then we'll get started. Always is a challenge to see where the little icon is. There we go. And you can see Jim's truck, and we had more rain this afternoon. I had checked the radar, and I told him as long as we got off the lake by 3 o'clock, we'd be good. Well, we were off the lake by noon, and that was even better. And, yeah, got home, and what did it do? It rained until 4:15, and then it rained. So, how crazy is that? Oh, it didn't flip over. Oh, yes, it did too. Oh, raise it up. There we go. I always have to remember so many things to do. Okay, it's nice and straight. Just a second. There we go. There. Alrighty. The stamp set I'm using tonight is an online exclusive available tomorrow. It's called Label Me Grateful. Thank you, verses. You're so appreciated. You're the best. A little kindness and so grateful with the thank you. And I like it. You know me with word sets. Oh, there's Millie Grab. Our shower chased her inside just at the right time to watch. Well, yay. Yeah, Jim just finished mowing our lawn. That's been the challenge this year, being able to get the lawns mowed. But he got ours done. The Label Me Grateful die also has dies, and so you can bundle them. And there's for cutting it out, and some leaves, and flowers and a couple more. You'll see in just a little bit. All right, here is the embossing folder. Now, this, I don't know. This is just got so many possibilities. It's a little bit bigger folder, and you'll see in a moment. Our colors tonight are Timid Tiger is our base. Okay, and then we have Timid Tiger, Cajun Craze for a layer, and that layer's gonna work. Yep. And then we have a white for the front and a white for the inside, and then another piece for our label. Okay, I'm going to set these off to the side. This is the piece I want to work with the sunflower. Now, a lot of times our embossing folders are just big enough. Here, that's the front. Being it's a 3D, then you use the gray plate, and I always put a navy blue dot on it because it's easier for me to just grab the embossing folder, know it's 3D, and use the gray plate. And my ladies appreciate me. Now, you could go this way, but tonight we're going to put it right here. Right there. Let's see. Maybe not. I'm looking at my sample. There, we're going to go sideways with it. There we go. It's got so many possibilities that I don't know which way I want to go. I'm going to go right there. As you can see, oh, there it is. I was just saying, how come I can't see where it was, where my folder was when I made my sample card? I wanted to get the most out of my embossing folder. So we're going to put it right there. Sorry about that. Okay, so the colors we're working with tonight are Early Espresso, Mossy Meadow, Cajun Craze, and Crushed Curry. So stand by. I'm going to go and emboss this, and it'll only take a minute. Okay, just like that. And here it is. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay, there are so many possibilities because you could go and turn over the negative side and color the flowers with your stamping blends. Or you can do this side. I have seen so much. In fact, I am coming up with a technique for our technique class coming up in July. It is, I don't know what it's called, reverse something. But here it is. So let us take our piece of scratch paper and start out with Cajun Craze. No, start out with Crushed Curry. I'm sorry. There's Kathy Sanford. Hello. Nice to see you. Okay, so we're going to ink this up and start coloring our flowers. And use our blending brushes. Okay. This is so many possibilities. I want more ink there. And I want to go and get my flour. And we will go and the fishing was so good today. Guess what? We're going again tomorrow. I couldn't believe it. Normally, it's very hard for me to convince Jim that, hey, we're retired, because he would rather work all the time. Now I'm taking Cajun Craze. And we will take another blending brush, and we're gonna go right here. Perfect. Let me cover this up. You know me, I can't be trusted. And now for some Mossy Meadow. This is, when I got done with making the sample card for tonight, it was like, oh boy, this turned out nice. I want to get the edges. And however you use your brushes, blending brushes, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Okay, now to go back and catch the spots I perhaps missed or didn't get dark enough. Embossing, it landed at my house on Saturday. Oh, Kathy, if you haven't made anything yet, hopefully this inspires you to get that unpacked. And there's so many possibilities. I'm really looking forward to my July technique class. I've been just checking out just Facebook. It's just wonderful, the ideas out there. Okay, just a second. Let me get my Early Espresso and my sponge dauber. This just made the card. There. Oh my. Right? I'll just leave this out. Okay. And we don't need that anymore. Now, we're going to put this right here. Okay? I have found out with these deep embossing folders that my edges don't always adhere. And I figured out that if I go and place it on my layer, like so, and then turn it over, like so, it helps it a lot. Okay, so there that is. Now you will see that I have a little bit bigger area than I normally do, and I will just take my trimmer there. I'm just going to take my trimmer and trim that off. Pretty good. That was almost too much. That's okay. So there we have that mounted now on our Cajun Craze. Now the next step will be to put it on our Timid Tiger, which this color, who knew, is ending up being one of my favorite colors of the new 25, 27 in colors. I really like it a lot. Okay. There we go. That's looking great. Then, instead of using the die, because I just couldn't take away from the prettiness of this embossing folder, I went and got my Labeled with Love punch from the annual catalog. And I am going to take my scrap of white and cut me a label like so. Okay. And we're stamping. Thank you. Yep. And we're going to use a couple of early espresso sequins. The folder is beautiful. It is K. It's definitely something. I am so glad I added it to my pre-order. And I've been telling my ladies, this is, if you like embossing folders, you're going to want this. And I'm just using whatever ink was left over in my Cajun Craze brush to add a little color to my label so it isn't so white, right? Okay, and we're going to put that on the front. We're going to put that on the front with our with dimensionals. I'm only putting dimensionals on the ends, and you will see why in a minute. Hopefully I get my technique class invite out. I'm thinking tomorrow. There, so we have that. Now, I took a scrap of Cajun Craze and one of the dies from the Label Me Grateful, and I already had adhesive sheet on the back. So, we'll put that there. I didn't want to waste anybody's time. And I like using the smaller strips rather than, there's no reason to have, and I'm just going to insert that in here. There. And then I went and cut out the leaf from Mossy Meadow. And just to add a little something. And because I only have dimensionals on both ends, I can easily stick it down. Now I also went and cut out the flower, the sunflower, but then realized, it really doesn't work. So we're going to use that on the inside. But before I finish, let us use a couple of sequins. One right there. And one right there. Okay, we are going to take a little kindness makes a big difference. And we're going to stamp that. Perfect. I love the font of this. Okay. And I always decorate the inside, so I thought, you know, I usually find some designer series paper, but this is working out better. Come on. Perfect. And I'm putting it right here. So that, when I did that, I thought, oh, that's wonderful. It kind of looks like a sunflower. And we will put this right here. There, and that's our card. A sneak peek into 2 online exclusives that will be released tomorrow by Stamping Up. So if this is a folder that you like, this is a must-have in my book. For summer, for fall, you know, it's just beautiful. So yeah, there we go. With 5 minutes to spare, I love the colors also, Kathy. It you know, and it worked. So, and like I said, there's so much you can do. You can use the negative side and color the embossing folders, which, oh boy, is that vibrant. But this is nice and soft. Certainly says summer, right? Okay. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in and stamping with me. I'm so glad you stopped in and we're here. I'll see you next week. Okay? So have a great rest of the week. Thank you.